welcome. So basically, in this wonderful individual reading, this will be for Gemini. This will be for July 13th to July 20th of 2026. So you know what, Gemini, I understand what you're going through in every single day. Maybe you're having a good day, maybe you're having a bad day, maybe things are going as planned, maybe everything is all short and sweet, whatever it is. But the way this is, you need to understand to have your own progress, to have your own abilities, to lift your lift yourself up, whatever it is, and you need to have the ability to understand how it's going to be, right? If you see yourself and have a silver lining, go ahead and use that, right? It's the silver lining will be becoming where you're going into that the race, and the race is between, like, it's kind of like the Taurus and the hare. Okay, the Taurus will go slowly to get to the finish line. Okay, the hare tries to beat the Taurus, right? So whether if you focus on that, and if you read the book of the Taurus and hare, try to understand about that. Okay, Gemini, like, I understand how everything is in that way, but there's always a way of how it goes in that way. So whether you have your own way and you think to yourself, like, wow, this is how it goes, it is very interesting. So the way of this is, in that way, you have the Five of Cups separate, there's grief, and the Knight of Pentacles here, there's no trust. So when you are having that grief and when you have no trust, these are very two different energies at the same time. So whether you might deal with in our Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in that way, or when you're focused on that and you focus about having no trust with anybody, that's how it goes. So if you understand your own motives and you understand what it is, that's what it's going to be. It's like, alright, this is how it goes, alright, this is the way it works, this is how it goes. So whenever you see it in that way, you know how it goes in that way, alright, that's how it goes. So you have to improve yourself wisely to get the better outcome, right? It's like, that's how it is in that way. So the way how this is, no matter how it goes in that way, you have to understand that in that way, and that's how it goes in that way, right? It's the way of how it goes in that way, and you understand that, right? So what if you decided about that, if you decide about, oh, everything seems to be fine, this is how it goes, and this is the way it works. It's the way of how you can be knowing what to do, and you have to think to yourself, it's like, well, this is the way of how it is to have your own pressure point, and in that pressure point, that's how it goes in that way. Okay, so this is how it is. So the way how this is, Gemini, basically this is how it goes. So the Four of Pentacles here is to don't prosper about money. Leave that. How it goes. The Just here is not telling the truth or about lying about something. I have no idea about that. Those here is no decisions because you're not making decisions. That's okay. That's how it goes, Gemini. The Magician, right, you want skill because that's how it goes, right? You want to have your dignity. You want to have your skill. That's how it goes in that way. Eight Pentacles, right, you think to yourself, saying, oh, everything's all perfect, everything's all, this is how it goes. That's what it's going to be. And then you have the Devil's upright, there's obsessions, addiction. So there's something that was happening in that way. So whether you think to yourself, it's like, this is how it goes, it needs to be referable, that's how it goes. So whether if you think to yourself, like, I don't like this anymore, but the way this is, whether you're dealing with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in that way, that's how it goes in that way, right? So Gemini, I understand what you're going through, but you have to understand, no matter what you're doing in that way, you have to do that. You have to be who you are, and you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. So whether if you think to yourself, like, this is how it goes, that's how it goes. So I'm going from the middle to the left, to the middle to the right. So you have 9 Cups to the right, there's romance. Followed by the 10 of Wands here, there's no burdens. 3 of Pentacles here, there's no excitement. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles to the right, you want trust. Exactly. So between romance and trust, those are the two things that you're looking for. Because if you have the ability to have romance, there you go, right? It's the way how it works in that way, and you think to yourself, all right, well, I need to do it. I need to accept it on how it goes. It's, you have to accept. And when you do, that's how it goes, Gemini. That's how it is. So if you're focusing about having the trust, that's what it is, right? That's how it's going to be. So I'm going to clarify between the 9 of Pentacles to this 3 of Pentacles here. So the stars are right there in separation. and the Empress, already there's nourishment. Exactly. So between that, that's how it goes. It's like, alright, everything's fine, yes. But when you do it, that's how it goes. So whether you see it, alright, this is the way it is, it's very how it goes, that's what it's going to be. So if you want nourishment, if you want, inspiration, that's how it goes in that way. It's like, alright, this is how it goes. And that's what it is, right? So between the Magician, the Devil, and the Eight of Pentacles, let me clarify that. 10 Cups, yours is in completion. 5 Wands is everywhere there's chaos. Just yours is not telling the truth. 9 Pentacles, you want to feel you want to feel comfortable. 20 Wands, yours is no charisma. 7 Wands, you're feeling resilience. That's how it goes. So if you are not telling the truth in the Justice reversed, this is how it goes. I'm going to clarify that, please. And we have the 3 of Swords, there's heartbreak. So you're feeling sad, you're whimpering. That's how it goes. Like, this is the way it works, right? So when you have your own way, this is how it goes in that way, because you're trying to map it out, right? If you're mapping it out in that way, whether you're going south, west, north, east, you have to try to figure out what you're going through, right? It's like, that's how it goes. If you focus about having trust, and you're having romance, fine. But if you have the ability to have heartbreak and you're feeling sad, and you're not telling the truth, you're making up lies and everything else, you can't do that, right? It's like you're saying, woe is me, I don't want to do it. But what this is, if you're focusing on another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in that way, and you're focusing on that, try to understand that, right? Try to have visualization of knowing what to do, right? It's like, that's how you do that, right? It's like, that's how it is. And you have to picture it, right? That's what it's going to be. And when you picture things in different perspective, that's all you can do, right? It's like, that's what it is, right? So let me clarify this 10 Cups here. Whereas already there's completion, Page Treasures, no education. You have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. You're having bad luck, right? Clarify that, please. Reverse is no misrotation. The 6 Wands, there's celebration. Okay, that's very interesting. So this is how it goes in that way. So everything's going to be all kind of, how it is in that way. But when you look at it in different perspective, that's all you can do. But you have to do it as a wonderful feeling. That's how it goes. Let me clarify this 3 of Swords here. 9 of Swords versus no trauma. But 6 Swords is upright. There's movement. Exactly, because you're going into that direction of how it goes. So I understand what you're going through, Gemini, but this is how it goes. It's like, okay, I need to accept it, yes, but how you're going to do it in that way, right? You have to have your own ways and saying, all right, this is how it goes. It needs to be, how it goes. This is how it is. So let me see what this Empress is about. Page 1 first is there's no invention. Sun cards over, there's positivity. Ace Pentacles here is no prosperity about money. String of Reverse is no bravery, so you're being scared. Eight Pentacles first is no perfection. The Fool reverse is no change. Emperor reverse is no structure. 8 Wands for their speed. Exactly, that's how it goes. So if you want to stay positive as much as you can, that's how it goes. It's like, alright, this is the way it works. Alright, this is the way it is. That's how it goes, right? So whatever you say to yourself, and you understand that, that's how it goes. It's like, alright, this is the way it works. This is how it is. Alright, you're saying to yourself, enough is enough. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to play games. But that's how it goes. It's like, you need to have your own balance, right? You have to look at things in a different perspective, right, Gemini? That's how it goes. If you're focusing on another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you have to focus on whether you focus on that ability to understand that, right? That's just how it goes. And no matter how it is, you have to face it. You have to face it head on, right? You have to understand if you look at things in that perspective, that's all you can do, right? So, you're saying to yourself, it's like, okay, I know what to do. I'm going to go with the flow. Yes, go with the flow, because that's how it goes. If you think about the positivity, think about the positivity. Do not think about the negativity. Do not think about the past. Do not think about a lot of things. If you want to tell the truth with somebody, or if you do that, great. But if you make up lies, it's like you're being that character that, I'm going to say it, and it would involve a Disney movie. It would be at least Pinocchio. That's what Pinocchio is. Whether the Pinocchio with the nose is going to keep growing, right? And that's how it goes. So it's like if you just try to not make up lies and you try to tell the truth more, that's how it goes. That's what it's going to be. So you have to understand that. You have to take things for granted, right? That's how it goes, right? So let me clarify the middle, please. So we have the Wheel of Fortune that is upright. So that means they're going to have good luck on your side. That's great. So now this is going to be how it's going to be in this whole entire reading. Okay, Gemini? Now, you're going to look at it from a different perspective. Now, in that way, you're going to say, alright, this is how it goes. So I'm going to clarify on the left side, please. So we have the Hermit is no, you have a soulmate. Aquarius is no misrotations. And yeah, the Justice is not telling the truth. So basically you're lying about something. Okay, interesting. Now let's see on the right side, please. So we have the Wheel of Fortunes already. You're having good luck on your side. Fool is upright. There's change. And the Justice already. You're telling the truth. So these are in between. Okay, so if you're not telling the truth on one side, you make up lies on the left side. If you're telling the truth on the right side, you're telling the truth, right? So you might be doing it in a Libra here, and that's how it goes in that way, right? That's how it is. So I'm going to clarify this Justice on reversed side. So Aquarius is on misrotations. Hermit is already their solitude, so maybe you're looking for a soulmate, maybe you're not, maybe you do. Then you have the Aquarius is no restrictions. Death Aquarius is no endings, you're not focused on Scorpio. Taurus is no decisions. Aries is no obsessive addictions. Chariot is already there's progress. Exactly. So if you look at things in that perspective, that's all you can do, right? You're in between of having a soulmate, maybe not having a soulmate. That's how it goes. So if you look at things in that perspective, that's how it goes, right? That's what it's going to be. So you have to understand of how regularly this is, right? This is the way it works, Gemini, because if you focus on your own dignity and your own respect, that's how it goes. But if you focus on not that, and you think, well, I can't do this, all the time, try to level up. That's how it goes, right? It's like you need to focus on that, right? You have to focus on how you're going to level up. What I mean is by that is that you need to level up on like having trust, or having ability to have a different conversation, or maybe you're just trying to figure out like, okay, well, this is the way it works. This is the way of how dignity, and I need to believe it. That's how it goes, right? So Gemini, you need to focus on that. You have to focus on the way of how it goes in that way. So I'm going to clarify between Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, and the Justice. So we have the Chariot already there's progress, Fools already there's change, and Death card is already there's ending. So you're focusing on the Scorpio. That's how it goes. So that's how it's going to be, I guess. So let me clarify this Hermit card on the left side here, which is yours is no skill. Sun card is already there's positivity. Exactly. So you're in between having positivity and having negativity, right? You're trying to be who you are, and you need to like, okay, I'm going to tell the truth more. I need to, that's how it goes, Gemini. If you focus and let's say you're basically want to focus on a Leo as a fire sign, okay, that's fine. But you have to focus on what you're going to be doing now, right? It's like, alright, this is how it goes. Alright, I don't want to complain. I don't want to do it. But the way this is, yes, right? That's what you're looking for, right? You have to look from this way of going from, backwards to forwards. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that you have to believe in your own self. You have to have that dignity of, yes, you're going to find change. Yes, you're going to have victory on your side, maybe. But the way of this is, You have to focus on that, Gemini. You know, and that's what it is. It's like if you focus on the right things, that's how it goes, right? That's how it is. So I'm going to clarify this Sun card. Let's see. We had the 10 cups over, there's completion. So you think that, okay, everything's completed. Yes, it is. So now, I'm going to clarify. I love that word, clarify. I'm going to clarify on the left side, the middle, and the right. So do the 3 Pentacles, sorry, there's excitement. The middle we have the 9 of Swords, there's no trauma. And the right side is the King Wands, there's no passion, there's no leadership. So let me clarify this 3 Pentacles here. Star Author, there's inspiration. Strength of Aries is no bravery, so you're being scared. King Swords is no knowledge. And the Page Pentacles are there's prospects. Exactly, that's how it goes. So let me clarify this Star card. Knight Pentacles is no trust, so you're in between. Having trust, having no trust. So you have the Seven Cups is no delusion. Followed by the 7 Swords, not feeling deceit. Hermit's over their solitude, so maybe you're looking for a soulmate, maybe. But the way this is, Gemini, if you focus and you have that ability, that's what it is in that way, right? This is the way it is in that way. Let me clarify this 9 of Swords here. So you have the King Cups first, there's no support. 7 Pentacles, you're focusing on your career. 9 Wands, there's fear. 2 Swords, which path you're going to take. 9 Pentacles, you're feeling comfortable. That's how it goes, right? So you're in between having fear, having comfortable, that's how it goes. So I'm going to clarify this 9 Pentacles again. Just here is not taking action. Page 1, there's invention. 5 Cups, there's grief. Exactly. So you're having grief, right? Because you're grieving about it. Interesting. Interesting. What is this King Wands about? 6 Pentacles, there's no kindness, so you're being rude and disrespect. Interesting. 5 Swords, there's conflict. Exactly. That's how it is. Interesting. So I'm going to clarify this 5 Swords here. So we have the Chariot, there's progress. The Hierophant reverse is no guidance. 6 Wands reverse is no achievement. Emperor is no structure. 4 Swords is about recuperation. Yeah, because you're going to recuperate after that fight that you had, or there was something that was happening. So the universe is telling me that you're basically saying that you're having grief, right? It's like you're saying to yourself, I can't do this more. I don't want to. Well, you know that you need to focus on that. You need to focus about that's how it is in that way, right? So whether if you think to yourself and say, all right, well, this is the way it works. That's how it goes, Gemini. Like, you need to have your own way and saying, okay, well, I shouldn't be doing this ever again. You have to focus on that. Because yes, grief is coming and going. Yes, you have it. Maybe you're grief about somebody who passed away. I don't know. But you know what, Gemini, you need to focus on if you're having grief and you lost somebody, or maybe you are lost about having trust with anybody or whatever it is, and you're having fights and you're having the wrongdoings, whatever it is. You need to focus on what's happening around you, and when you do it, that's how it goes. So, this is how it is. But I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please a comment if you want, but this is how it goes in that way. This is the way it works. So this is the way it works. So I hope you all like this video. Please leave a like, please leave a comment if you want, and this is the way it works, and this is the way it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you when I do, and that's how it goes in that way. So thank you very much. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you. Have a nice day, and thanks, and bye.